The Panthers kicker Graham Gano set and ready to go as we are off from Charlotte.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Now a 2nd and 6.
They'll stay on the ground. Wilder again. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here's Williams on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down. They'll run with Wilder. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 4.
Looking to throw. Williams. He completes it to Evans. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
This is Wilder. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Back to throw. Williams. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Newton now to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Newton.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well.
The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
Now a first down throw for Newton.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Newton now to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 14. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Here's Newton. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. Gano's kick is good, and the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. On the return, Williams.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive.
Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Williams now to throw on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Williams on 3rd down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Quarterbacks have so many options when they have a 4 vertical route because they can hit any one of those 4 at any time, often for a big gain. But to me, the key is don't lock in on any one of them. It's best for him to look in one direction and throw in another.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Wilder. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Wilder. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Williams looking to throw on 2nd down. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Bucs are able to answer the early 3 points and take a 1st quarter lead.
Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see, great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice, put them to good use on that one.
point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Newton's throw complete there to Moore.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 4.
McCaffrey on the counter. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Well, when you go from 2nd to 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Newton.
He's got the connection to Moore.
And he is going to have the Panthers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Newton's throw here into the hands of Moore.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Second and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead.
Here's Newton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now it's Newton. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Short one here, complete to Dixon.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Newton. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Newton.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
Gano's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Williams now on the return.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Here's Williams throwing to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
To throw on second down, Williams. Evans has it left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They'll run on first down. Wilder
takes it to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Off play action. Williams. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Williams. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Newton on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 2.
Here's Newton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. Gano's kick is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Williams now on 1st and 10.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it.
2nd and 10.
To throw again, Williams. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Williams' throw taken in by Evans here.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Wilder. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Up the middle they go. Wilder.
And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Williams to throw on 3rd down. Looking right sideline, that's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. So from Panther territory, now it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw. Williams. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Williams. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina, and on we go to 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now Williams throwing on 4th down. Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Bucs will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Panther offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle. We have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. Here's Smith to return it. And he returns this to the 22. The Panthers going to take over here to start quarter number 3. But Charles, we saw pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They fake the give. Newton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Back to throw, Newton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Here's Williams throwing to start the drive. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll try the left side. Wilder, and that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd and 5. Back to throw. Williams. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
We'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Now we're a first down pickup of 8.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Underneath, he's got Olsen. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To the air again, Newton. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Throwing is Newton. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Now Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Gano's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has, and that offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 25, here's second down at 7.
Looking to throw. Williams.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Williams now on third down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, Newton. And he's got his man on the outroute. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Whatever it takes.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to... Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, certainly going to be a lot tougher adding a touchdown to that lead now since they're facing 2nd and 20+. Big-time sack to start the drive and put the opponent way back. Let's see what kind of play call they come up with here.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a handoff up the middle. Wilder. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Williams throwing on third and long. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 7.
Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Newton on third down.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him.
The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Off the bootleg. Williams. Throw left side complete. That's Evans.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And this is going to be a Bucs 1st down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And space tough to come by there, so we'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They work now on 2nd and 9. On the carry is All-Madden. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of him, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Williams airing this one out for Evans. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A 21-yard touchdown run.
And the Bucs will add to their fourth quarter lead.
We see this a lot on third and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this a 9-point game. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up about the 35-yard line. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Newton. And that's incomplete. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, Whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Panthers about ready to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Underneath, he's got Olsen. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Newton now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Newton. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Now Williams throwing to start the drive.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Wilder, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 7. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Bucs use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. So unable to throw it in for two from the two. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a two-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Carolina offense about ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 40 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. Short one here, complete to Dixon. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
From the 50, Newton. Underneath, he's got Olsen. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Here's Newton. He's got the connection to Moore. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
And they're going to speed things up here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Newton on 1st down. This will be caught just inside the 10. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a...
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a one-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Gano the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Here's Williams on 3rd and 2. Pass taken in by his big tight end. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Wilder. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Williams. And that is incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he's able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
So now the Panthers down by 8. A minute 40 remaining. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10.
On the set.
Newton to throw. Underneath, he's got Olsen. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
Now 2nd and 4. Newton. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
And this offense needs a touchdown. A field goal won't get it done in this situation. But after giving up back-to-back sacks, things are looking a little bit bleak.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And that 2 points you would think should end any thoughts here of a possible comeback.
Yeah, they had a long field ahead of them anyway, but now 2 scores down, you can just about chalk this one up for lost.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Fielded just inside the 30. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So it's a win for the Bucs here, and it was thanks in part to their man under center, their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he was in complete control of this offense. He had 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And to be honest, he really made it look easy out there.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.